about almost 30 parts. Well, now we're going to do that again, but in Sword and Shield logic with Go. And we're going to remove Ash from the story because we don't need him. Because I meant to say this is Pokemon Sword and Shield. Because Go is going to be... and Chloe are going to be part of Sword and Shield. So let's just go to the summer training camp thingy. The summer camp. Professor Oak summer camp. Christian's there on the first day. As he goes, yeah, 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 yeah. As they're all playing around, having a blast. Then he realizes that, then Professor Oak says that Go and Chloe are missing. But then when Professor Oak looks for Christian, he just blitzes off. Somehow he's that fast. And he says, where are you two? As he finds them saying, hi. Chloe yells, how did you get here so fast? He goes, don't know, I just got here. He says, quickly, we have to go. Professor Oak's getting worried. He says, but we're following a Pokemon. He goes, why would you want to follow a Weedle? He goes, but it was just a Mew. He goes, you do know. Then he says, wait a minute, get over here. As he grabs it, saying, I got you now, Dio. I got you now, Mew. He says, what do you mean? He says, Christian says, Mew was transformed as the Weedle. Get it. Go runs in front of it, blocking it as Weedle transforms into Mew. Christian jumps up, catching it, going, gotcha, Mew. But then it teleports him right at a volcano. He goes, no! But then a Dragonite picks him up and brings him over and brings him to the top. He goes, huh? As he sees Lance, the champion of Kanto, still. He looks going, who are you? He says, I'm Lance of the Elite Four. He goes, and how did you get up here? He says, Mew teleported me. He's mean. He says, but then he sees Mew flying towards him, and he goes, I gotcha, Mew. As he actually catches it, Mew teleports him back to the summer camp. As he goes, get over here, you little cat. As Mew is squirming around, he says, I will catch you, Mew, you adorable sack of cuteness. Get over here. As he catches it finally and holds it and starts petting it to make it feel comfortabler. He goes, you're pretty nice. Want to come with me? It refuses and goes out. He goes, well, that was mean. But then, Chloe and Go are scared. They're like, Christian, look behind you. He goes, duh! As I see a Marshadow. He goes, what are you doing here? And what are you? He goes, shadow, 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 shadow. He goes, shadow, 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 shadow. As I just punched him in the face, he goes, dang it, I guess I didn't speak a language. Chloe facepalm saying, you can't talk in Marshadow. That was, and if you did kept saying shadow, it probably thought it as an offense. He goes, sorry, Marshadow. He says, so what are you doing exactly? So after that, Hop runs up to them saying, guys, what are you doing? We can't be over here. Professor Oak's worried. We have to go back. Christian says, okay, bye, Marshadow. As Marshadow disappears. And then they run away. But then something happens. A blue light blitzes past him. He goes, how many of these are we gonna experience? Then they're attacked by a giant Rapidash. It's way bigger than usual. Well, actually, it's a Graveler. A totem. It's a Alolan Graveler. As it's going, Gravel! Christian says, as Christian jumps in front, going, Ugh! But then the Mew comes and psychics it away. As then, after that, Christian would just be training his stuff so he can run. Like Mew can't, he can run as fast as Mew can fly. They don't really know Mew, they barely know Mew. This story's gonna be really different. I think Chloe's first Pokemon would probably be an Eevee, of course. She gets an Eevee, which she loves to death. And that was their birthday, and that was at Chloe's birthday party. Leon gave them Pokemon. But then something happened. Every time Leon tried to give Christian a Pokeball, the Pokeball just flew back. And Leon's confused. He's like, huh? Christian says, please don't tell me. As he looks behind him saying, ah! As Marshaddow's right behind him, he goes, Marshadow, what are you doing here? He says, you know this mythical Pokemon? He goes, it's mythical? He goes, yep. That's Marshadow, the mythical Pokemon of the shadows. He goes, well, we met it in training camp, in summer camp, and for some reason it followed me. He says, Marshadow, were you the one who kept smacking away the Pokeball? And Marshadow nods his head, and he says, wait a minute. As he goes into big brain mode going, do you want to come with me? Marshadow nods, and he says, woohoo, I just got a Marshadow. Go didn't get any Pokemon, because Hop being the greedy, annoying person he is, I'm kidding. Leon only brought a Grookey. Since he knew that Chloe loves Eevees, Go doesn't really like anything. Go wants Mew, but Leon can't catch Mew. That's impossible. And he couldn't catch Christian whatever he wanted. So Marshadow is Christian's partner now. So really, he didn't really know what they wanted. But then a Scorbunny is causing trouble all over the party, and this is the Scorbunny from the games, guys. From the anime. As it keeps on destroying all the things, but Christian says, we have to catch it. He says, Marshadow, Shadow Punch! As Marshadow shoots a Shadow Punch and it hits the Scorbunny. As it blasts back, he says, go! He says, go, catch it! Go jumps up in the air, catching the Scorbunny, going, I got it! As then, he sees that Marshadow one-shotted it. He goes, you need to calm down. I think you were a little mad, weren't you, not Naruto. He says, I think I'm gonna give you a nickname, Marshadow. Leon says, what are you gonna name it? He says, Marshmallow. You're going to be called Marshmallow. Marshadow fits Marshadow's name. Marshmallow. They all start laughing, saying that's a good name for Marshadow, because Marshmallow. He says, yeah, you are Marshmallow now. After that day, Christian has been partners with Marshadow. Okay, look, I'm gonna call him Marshadow. His name is Marshmallow. So when they reach 10 and they graduate elementary school, they head straight on to not middle school, their Pokemon journeys. Hop would say, until then, oh yeah, Go has Scorbunny way earlier. They all had their Pokemon. And they're getting ready to go. Shadow. And Christian wants to teach Marshadow one more move. He says, learn this. As he puts in a tape, a TM, which is TM Aura Sphere. He says, learn that. Marshadow instantly creates it and shoots it out. He goes, good job, Marshadow. As they go, boo. He says, but you're not really a special attacker, are you? Marshadow just goes, Shadow. He says, you're more of a physical attacker. As he says, remove. He says, let's use more of your kicking. As Marshadow kicks it and breaks a piece of wood, he goes, Leon says, that was the move jump kick. He goes, you learned jump kick. A. Christian says, I want a mythical team. I want all of them. They're so cool. He says, I also want to find out what that blue light was. Christian's finding all the mythicals. He does already have a mythical, which is Marshadow. Because he shoots Marshadow as his best friend. So Leon would sign them all up would sign Christian to hop up for the gym challenge, because, well, yeah, Hop wouldn't really Chloe wouldn't give a crap about the gym challenge. Go would probably want to catch Mew, but he needs all the gym badges too, because he needs all his Pokemon to get experience. So he thinks the gym challenge is a good way to do it. So he says, alright, you ready? Marshadow goes, Marshadow, Shadow. as they all get ready to head straight to the wild area. When they do, they start training, getting tons of levels, getting tons of experience with battling, and they had their first Dynamax battle after meeting Professor Sonia. Well, Sonia, and they're having a blast. Go's catching all kinds of new Pokemon along with Hop and Christian. Chloe's catching some of them because she joins in on the Dynamax adventures because it's fun. Christian sees one quick spark, a blue spark, and he goes, "What is that?" He says, "Guys, did you see that?" They're all like, "What do you mean?" He says, "I just saw a blue spark fly by me. Again." And this spark is weird. Like, the spark just keeps on coming. Go says, "You're probably imagining." Hop says, "Yeah." Christian says, "I think we should split up after this. Because we need to go in groups because it's gonna be boring." He says, "What do you mean?" Christian says, "It's gonna be pretty boring for us to do this. It's really just not that fun. If it's me, Hop, and Go taking on the gyms together, that's pretty boring. I think we should all split up. Maybe if Hop can find his own crew, because we were technically a crew before him." Hop says, "You're kicking me out." He goes, "We're not kicking you out. We're finding you a new group. Because one, you don't really fit with our characteristics." He says, "Yeah, I don't. I don't like anything you guys like to do. You guys like to stall, catch Pokemon. I like to go straight in on it." He says, "Yeah." He says, "Why don't you be friends? You could get along with Piers, his sister." He says, "Who's Piers?" He says, "The 7th gym leader in Galar. You could probably meet up with her. She's actually going to be a Motostoke." Hop says, "How do you know this?" He goes, "Leon told us." "I don't think you were listening, though, Hop, even though you listened to all of his conversations." He says that, and also, "Did you not remember, dumb crap?" He goes, "Geez, no need to be so mean." He says, "But we were literally friends with Marty as children. She literally came to the summer camp. Literally on one day, but she was so nervous that she left the next day." He goes, "She had that wannabe Pikachu?" He says, as they're also in Motostoke, she says, "It's Morpeko." He goes, "Yeah, wait, Marnie? That look," he says, "Morpeko." She says, "Christian, why'd you come here? You don't have any Pokemon." I mean, Go has his. He says, "What are you talking about?" "Yes, I do." He says, "They're right behind me." He says, "Actually, they're right behind you." As she goes, "Ah!" As Marshallow's right behind her going, "Shadow, Shadow, Shadow." He says, "Marshallow's my Pokemon." He kept deflecting all of Leon's Pokeballs, sadly. Sadly, I don't know why he kept deflecting them. That was pretty annoying. But I still love Marshadow because he's my best friend. And that's it for now.